and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the OlimoLeague, week number 234. It's been a long day already. It's been a long day. We have already wrapped up 2 broadcasts. Earlier today, we were casting the MC Latino American show match, and we just wrapped up with the Fire Cup Group A, and now we are back. We are here. We are live with the OlimoLeague. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go 3 casts back to back to back to back. As a reminder as well, we do also have another cast in just over 12 hours time with the Masters Coliseum. Masters Coliseum is going to be later on tonight. Of course, Fire Cup Group B playoffs as well, and of course day 2 of Masters Coliseum. So we still have 4 more casts throughout the next 2 days. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft always here on the Cranky Ducklings. Again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. That's what we do. That's what we do. We cast StarCraft, Bobby. Let's go. It's what we do. It's all that we do, and we have plenty of matches ahead of us. Plenty of matches to come here. We are diving into round 32. As a reminder, as a heads up, just to be transparent, this is a replay cast. These matches did occur earlier today while we were casting the Fire Cup. That's when these matches did occur. Even before that, when we were casting the the MC show matches as well. And usually we cast this live. Usually we have the official English broadcasters. We do cast it live, but this week and moving forward, we have decided to cast it via replays instead. The reason for this: whenever we cast this tournament live, we are only allowed to cast it on the Chijik platform. That's like the Korean version of Twitch. The Korean version of Twitch, we can only stream it there. Reason for that, as you can see under the OlimoLeague logo, is because this event is sponsored by Chijik, so it has to be live on that channel. And we've been casting it live for the past month, just over a month, I think. But the reality is we don't really get a lot of viewership. We don't really get a lot of coverage there because it is mainly a Korean platform. Everything's in Korean. It is not friendly to the foreign scene. It is not friendly to the English community. Likewise, it is very difficult for people to watch just because the routing is quite bad if you're in Europe or if you're in the Americas. So watching it, you do experience some buffering as well. So we're like, you know what, we're not really gaining much benefit from casting. Sure, we're like casting it live and we're the official English casters, but like, what does that title really mean? So it's like, you know what, may as well just cast it via replays. May as well just cast it via replays here instead, and we're able to reach a wider and larger audience. So here we are. Does mean that we have to cast afterwards, and we can't cast it live anymore, but regardless, it's all good. It's all good. We are here to catch up on all the matches that we did miss out on, and we are here in the round of 32. Okay, so we're gonna go through this round by round. Round 32, round 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and grand finals thereafter. We have plenty of matches ahead of us here. Hopefully my voice can stand strong and stand the test of time. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I was able to quickly get something to eat just between the casts. I got some cereal. I was able to eat some cereal, and we are good. We are energized and ready to go. Up first, we're going to be casting ByuN versus Kira in a TvT. Oh my god, we have a TvT up ahead of us, followed by some more mirror matchups. Again, this is the round of 32. We have ByuN versus Cure, Classic versus Trigger, and Skilless versus Zaun. Oh boy, the mirror matchups, they just keep on coming. As a reminder as well, because this tournament is so stacked, that is why we even have matchups like this. It is crazy to think that we're in the round of 32 and both ByuN and Cure are facing off immediately. Crazy. I mean, again, the caliber of players here is top tier, Papi. It's top tier to the point where, again, one of these 2 players is going to be knocked out in the start of the tournament, the start of the event. Crazy, crazy. Ramen with cereal? Oh no, if only. I had no time for ramen. To cook ramen, to make ramen, it's too much time, Papi, too much time. I did not have enough time to make ramen, unfortunately. So cereal instead, had to make do. Had to make do, Papi. Here we go. And we are getting into game number 1. It's going to be on Ultra Love. Let's go. Jumping into our TvT. Now, as a reminder, this is a rematch. This is a rematch to a round of 32 match that happened, I want to say, a week or maybe 2 weeks ago in the OlimoLeague as well, where they faced off against each other real early on in the bracket. And if I remember correctly, I believe Cure knocked ByuN out. He knocked ByuN out of the tournament real fast, real quick. We'll see if ByuN can get his revenge this time, as we're getting into game number 1. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Remember to pace yourself. I do plan on having a 5-minute break after each round. So after the round of 32, we'll take us. Oh, let's go. After the round of 32, we'll have like a 5-minute break or like a 3-minute break. Then after the round 16, then the quarterfinals, semis thereafter. I do plan on doing that at least to try to, again, I agree, to try to pace myself. That is the plan. But first things first, we start things off with a proxy 2-rax. ByuN doing ByuN things. Let's go, Papi, let's go. Meanwhile, Cure, do you see what I see? I see one gas. I see only one gas, guys. So what does this mean? This means economic opener, racks expand. The stars are aligning for ByuN. This is kind of like the rock, paper, scissors of TvT. This is why TvT is so difficult and why Clem, for example, struggles in TvT as well, because there can be this dynamic where you can gamble and you can gamble well. So this is the ideal scenario for ByuN. Just because Cure is delaying his second gas, that means he's going for a faster command center, he's going for an economic opener, delayed factory. Delayed factory for Cure, which means ByuN can pop off with these Reapers. Now, it doesn't mean that ByuN is going to end the game here and now, but there is potential for ByuN to get damage. You know, back at home, taking his own gases, Reaper production has begun. We do not have WCS game hearts. It's all good. We can count how many workers go down. We can do our best here to keep up with the amount of worker damage as Reapers are on the way. Here we go. The Reapers are amassing. It looks like ByuN is waiting for that second Reaper before he does pull the trigger. Meanwhile, the first Reaper is going to be scouting initially, and he scouts, he confirms. Cure, he does get eyes on what's going on. He realizes what's happening. He pulls back. What's important is that ByuN doesn't know he got scouted because he's on the low ground, and the Reaper was here on the left-hand side. He doesn't know what's going on. The boys are being pulled, and Cure is ready. Cure, he is ready for this. He does look down the first Reaper. First Reaper is going to go down. Massive pickup. And the second, oh god, the second Reaper as well. One more shot. One more shot and he will go down. ByuN, the Cure, though, he will not chase. He will not chase as reinforcements are on the way, but that is a very strong start for Cure. Very strong start. He does catch one Reaper. Pulls away. Marines are massing. And he even canceled the CC. Cure, just to be safe, he canceled the command center. Factory on the high ground. Delayed CC here for Cure, but it is still faster than ByuN CC. So Cure is in a much stronger position, and all of this is because Cure scouted. Because he scouted, because he saw the Raxes, he was able to respond in time, pull the boys, and defend. And now ByuN has to back off. He has to race back home. The Raxes are floating back. And Cure, he's settling in. So again, this is the dichotomy of TvT. Sometimes you gamba, and sometimes the gamba goes poorly. Things are looking good for ByuN up until the scouts, right? Up until the scouts. And now Cure, he can soon expand. We're getting to our 1-1-1s. Likewise, so is ByuN getting a CC on location. Cure's has to float over, so there's a bit of a give and take here. In general, though, Cure is in a better position. Cure, he does have a higher SCV count. He has a faster command center, and he should be able to settle into the mid game a lot faster as well. As a starport, just everything's faster. Everything is faster for Cure. Cure does have a lead, and we'll see if he can maintain that lead. ByuN back at home, trying to settle in. Doing what he can. Rax is going to be floating home. Do you see ByuN getting to his 2-1-1 setup here? Going for a Viking first. Interesting. Going Viking Cyclone just to be safe, just to be secure. I mean, Cyclones early on in TvT, they're very robust units. They can shoot up, they can shoot down, they can do it all. It's crazy. And that is what we're going to be at least starting off with, just to be safe. So Cyclone has arrived, then it's the tank production. And ByuN has some options here. I would not be surprised if he turns this into a 2-base all-in. That would make sense in my mind if he goes for like a second starport and goes mass Viking production into a 2-base all-in just because of the rough opener that ByuN has had. But we'll keep an eye on ByuN. You're going for the tech lab. First tank is like, oh wait, we go for the opposite. Okay. I mean, you have to go for one extreme. When you're behind, go for an extreme. Which extreme is it going to be? Either going for an all-in or cutting corners and being greedy. Third CC is already on the way for ByuN, but Cure is doing the same. He's already ahead and he's maintaining that lead. His CC is actually faster than that of ByuN's. So both players just rushing into their third bases. This is going to benefit Cure a little bit more. This was an attempt for ByuN to try to bounce back in this game, but alas, he's still just maintaining himself in this game, and Cure still has that lead. For now, both players are backing off. We have Stim on the way for ByuN. Again, ByuN does enjoy being very bio-heavy in the TvT matchup. Meanwhile, Cure back at home going to be getting into his own Viking production, reactive Vikings, and tank production as well. So after an intense start to the game, we are slowing things down. Interesting. Cure is going to be the first to move out. The confidence, baby. The confidence is there, so Cure is going to push. And the goal here for Cure should be to delay the third. It shouldn't be to try to break into the natural. Like, that is going to be very difficult to pull off. Reaper Scout confirms the tanks. And checking the vision here, Cure, did he see the CC? He did not. He's not aware of the command center. Not yet. But again, because Cure is expanding, his goal here is just to gain map control. Oh, nice control here. Kiri does break the lock on. The pickup. Pickup macro was on point. Tanks are slowly moving forward. Viking shots going up. Cure, he will siege up two of those tanks. Shot going up. He does take down. Oh, the Cyclone. Yeah, Cyclone goes down massive while he goes off on the tank as well. Tank barely does survive. But better trades for Cure. And Cure's just bullying ByuN. Again, getting within range of the mineral line. Denying mining. ByuN has to back up. Ooh, yeah, tanks are going up here in the mineral line. Likewise, gets within range of a tank. Yeah, that tank's going to be going down. Massive pick off. Yeah, ByuN, after stumbling here at the start of the game, he has not been able to recover. He's trying to, though. Trades 1 for 1. Will come out on top here in the Viking trade. 2 for 2. Reinforcements have arrived, and Cure, he will take the fight. He will take the fight. Dominates the sky, dominates the ground, dominates the economy as he has his third base on location. And ByuN is still playing catch-up. Still playing catch-up here. Still trying to recover. Not like this. ByuN trying to catch reinforcements with that Viking. Makes sense. Doing what he can. And ByuN, he can't even freely mine from his natural. Ay. It's not happening. Just cannot freely mine. Cure getting saturated, upgrades on the way. ByuN, he raced into Stim, but he's not able to use it. I mean, despite ByuN having Stim this entire time, it just didn't really come into play. Cure is catching up with his own Stim timing. ByuN breaks out with his double drop. Viking from behind, gets some damage, drags the army within range of the tanks. Nicely done. ByuN with the control shuts down the Marines. Takes down the Marines, takes down one of the Cyclones as well. Double drop headed towards the third base. Cure, he failed to contain. He did miss the move out. And Cure, he races back home. He's racing back home. Double drop here into the mineral line. Tank volley's going to be going up. Can ByuN get a tank? Oh, he wants it. He wants the tank, and he's going to get it as well. Yeah, just barely, but GG gets called, as regardless, this is still not enough damage, and Cure takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he gambled a little bit in game 1 and going for the proxy 2 racks, and Cure completely shut ByuN down, and Cure took a massive lead. Even though ByuN, sure, he was dropping across the map, he was just cleaned up. He lost the medevacs, he was losing everything, and with that double drop as well, ByuN, he confirmed how far behind he was. That did confirm just the game state and how far behind he was. With that, there was no way back in that game. GG, well played. Cure starts things off with a win. And again, as I just mentioned before, last time these two faced off in the OlimoLeague, Cure did knock ByuN out early on in the tournament. Is it going to happen again? Is it going to happen again? Or can ByuN force the ace match? We're about to find out as we're getting into game number 2 on Ley Lines. Let's go. We're jumping into game 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. I mean, he's an amazing player, but we're here in the round of 32, and he is down in the series. Is this where his story ends? Or merely where it begins? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, leading the series 1-0. Unamas, one more game is all he needs to advance on into the round 16. It is Cure. Here we go. As a reminder, ByuN last game did open up with a proxy 2 racks, and we have Cure moving out with his own SCV across the map. Just the one though. Just the one SCV. Looks like a Rax back at home, and a Cure, he might end up going for a second proxy Rax for a very uncommitted, kind of aggressive opener. And based on the movement, yeah, it's looking like that Rax. Let's go. So this is a 2 Rax opener at a Cure. Again, it is very middle of the road, very much so. It's not as committed. This can get damage done, but this is not designed to do any crippling damage, really. If ByuN opens up economically, and hey, you see what I see? I mean, once again, when it comes to the choice to open up 2 racks, both for ByuN and Cure, it has been working out quite well. This is an economic opener. Economic opener out of ByuN. He's going for a racks expand. Now, because of this reinforcing racks, Cure, he can take a fight, he can overwhelm the first Reaper, and he can punish ByuN. Can punish him, and can get an early lead. A big can, though. Remember, the reason why Cure looked so good last game is because he scouted the proxy last game. Is ByuN going to do the same? ByuN is known for cutting corners in TvT. Like, he's known for skipping the SCV scout and skipping the scout of the proxy locations as well. So I'm concerned that ByuN is going to do that, and ByuN might be caught with his pants down. The pants, they might be down, back. They might be down. Meanwhile, ByuN going to be following it up with his own factory, second gas geyser, Reaper here moving on left-hand side. He is scouting for proxies. He checks towards the left. But alas, he didn't SCV scouts, which means he won't get eyes on that proxy. Reapers, they do run into each other. Do run in. Q shoots first. Could be forced back, but yeah, here comes second Reaper, and he shuts down ByuN. ByuN, he will lose the Reaper. GG gets called. That is it. That is game, because ByuN, he was about to lose his low ground building SCV. He was about to lose that command center as well. Forced to cancel. That's game. That's game then and there. GG, well played. Cure takes the 2-0. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he skipped his SCV scout to check for a proxy, went for a Reaper scout instead. He was caught out on the map, and with that, Cure gambles well. He gambles well. He takes down ByuN 2-0. Once again, what is that, like 2 weeks in a row? Jesus. Cure, calm down. ByuN just wants to play some StarCraft. he just wants to play some StarCraft, papi. Let him play. Let him play. As ByuN gets knocked out in the first round, GG. GG, well played. A massive result here. And again, I wouldn't necessarily call that an upset. It's just brutal to see these two players face off in the first round, right? Like, both ByuN and Cure, they're both amazing players. They're both deserving to be in the round 16, in the quarterfinals, even arguably the semifinals as well. Like, they're deserving to be there. But, you know, this tournament is very cutthroat and it's very competitive. Very competitive tournament. To have these two face off in the first round is brutal, but I mean, that shows the caliber of play here in the OlimoLeague. ByuN is out and Cure is in. GG. GG, well played. And that will lead us into our next round of 32 match. Up next, we have a PvP between Skillous and Trigger.